Well, I think, first of all, open education is a difficult concept to be understood by policymakers. If you look at policy cycles in Europe, typical policy cycles and the way they work, you have things like ICT inclusion, things like digitalization, which are easy to understand. Open education is complicated. You know, what is it about? Opening up things, recognition, just content, licenses. So it's not so easy to define it. And policymakers don't like things that are not easy to define and to sell, typically. So this, I think, is the first issue. But then again, as you say, you find open education in a lot of policy niches, in a lot of policy documents around Europe, as we are finding in our research. But why is this not having an impact as it should have on practice is the question. So I think the main issue, this is repeated by many people, is the one of capacity of the stakeholders acting on the ground. As I always say, even if the ministry is convinced and the rector is convinced and the students want it, if the protagonist of the process, which is the teacher and the assistant and the ICT supporter, are not really thinking with an open mindset and working openly in terms of culture, passing an open culture, a sharing culture, this is what I mean by open education, the thing doesn't work. In the cases where you see in some universities, in some groups, like the Coventry Disruptive Media Lab, you know, this is a strange animal within a university, and they do everything openly. They started, and now, in order to work there, you must be open. In order to work at Athabasca, you must work openly. Otherwise, you don't do it. So when this thing starts taking over and starts becoming the norm, the default, things change. As long as openness is either not understood or not becoming the norm, but still being either a geeky thing or an activist thing, change will not happen. Massive change will not happen.